Welcome to Friday Night Frights. Today is the story of the Bell Witch. The fields around Red River were quiet at dusk, too quiet, as if the land itself held its breath. The Bell family cabin stood alone against the faded light, a silhouette of he- rough-hewn logs and shuttered windows. Inside, the air always felt colder than it should, as though the darkness lived in the walls. It began in the autumn of 1817, when John Bell noticed something moving between the trees. Not the twitch of deer, not the shifting shadow of a fox. This thing moved wrong, gliding instead of walking, its body shaped like a dog, but with a face long and twisted like some animal that had never walked the earth. When he blinked, it was gone, but the silence it left behind felt like a warning. At first, the Bell children whispered about faint scratching beneath their beds. John dismissed it, rats maybe. Then came the knocking, always at night, always three sharp taps, like knuckles on wood. One night the knocking traveled along the walls as if something dragged its hand across every surface of the cabin, searching for a way in. Still, the family said nothing. Fear needs silence to grow, and the Bell cabin held plenty. The presence inside the house grew bold. Bed sheets slid off sleeping bodies. Hair was yanked hard enough to make children cry out. Then the voice came, soft at first, like breath against the ear. Ear. Betsy Bell, the youngest daughter, woke screaming more than once, insisting someone had whispered her name just beside her bed. The next night, the voice came again, louder, clearer, as though standing at the foot of her mattress. Betsy. From that moment, the witch had found her favorite victim. The unseen presence began to speak openly in a woman's voice cold enough to freeze the spine. She called herself Kate, but the bells quickly began to call her something else, the witch. Kate laughed in the dark. She recited secrets no one had spoken aloud. She intimidated the voices. She imi- she imitated she imitated the voices of neighbors who weren't there. Sometimes her voice hissed from the walls. Sometimes it fell from the ceiling. Sometimes it came from right behind you, even if the room was empty. Travelers came to hear her. They left pale, shaken, refusing to sleep alone. As months dragged on, the witch's cruelty sharpened. She tormented John Bell with a voice dripping venom. You will die by my hand. He felt invisible. Fingers coiled around his throat when he tried to pray. His vision blurred. His legs trembled without warning. Each day he grew weaker, as if something fed on him a little more each night, and the witch took delight in it. Betsy Bell could not escape her gaze or her touch. The witch whispered to her as she slept. She scratched her arms. She screamed her name until the house shook. And then, when Betsy became engaged to Joshua Gardner, the witch shrieked so loudly the cabin's windows rattled. No, you will not marry him. Night after night, Betsy woke with her hair tangled, as if someone had twisted it into knots. Joshua saw the terror in her eyes and eventually stepped away, not from the lack of love, but from the feeling that something watched them. Even in broad daylight, the witch had won. On a frigid December morning in 1820, John Bell was found barely breathing. A strange dark bottle sat on the table beside him. When the family questioned the voice that haunted them, Kate let out a laugh that scraped through the air. I gave old Jack a dose last night. He'll never rise again. John Bell died the same day. The witch sang with joy. Her voice echoed through the cabin, through the rafters, through the icy fields outside. I've done it! I've done it! Silence for a time. Then, just as suddenly, she said she was leaving. She promised to return in 7 years. And she did, but only briefly after speaking with John Bell Jr. She vanished again. But before she left, she gave one final promise. I will come back in 100 years, and someone will hear me. And that was the story of the Bell Witch. Thanks for watching. See ya.